here's a simple way to take a simple block letter and just add a few squiggly lines to it and end up with a more interesting block letter. No fancy drawing skills are needed for this. So in this letter here, as you can see, I wrote the capital N with a yellow marker. The yellow marker kind of disappears from a distance. They can be almost invisible at times. And then I went around the outside and I used a wavy line instead of a straight line like I've done on some of the other, actually all of the other the other videos in the earlier letters in the alphabet. So you might want to take a look at those if you haven't already to see the difference. So this one I just started with a very wiggly, squiggly, wavy line all the way around the letter. It's just one line. I just put my pen down, traced around it, and then ended at the place where I started. So it's one full line. And now what I'm doing is I'm going back and I'm just drawing really more squiggly lines around it. I'm following the same basic squiggly line I started with, but I'm making parts of it a little thicker and just adding a little bit more depth to it, I guess you could say. Really what I'm doing is just putting more ink on the page there. So I'm making the outline of the letter darker, bolder, thicker, stronger. Again, for my work, I tend to need to draw very large so people can see it from a distance. And so I like that really thick, bold, black line because it's so much easier to see from a distance than a very thin, light line. So that's something you want to keep in mind if you are drawing things that need to be seen and read from a distance. So this letter, it's very wavy, it's very wiggly, it's very squiggly, and it has a lot of personality to it. So it's very playful, it's got some movement, it's got some style. So this is a nice type of letter to use it's a very quick way to add all of those things, kind of flexibility. That's a word that's often talked about in the corporate world. So this is a simple way to kind of bring some of that in to whatever it is that you're writing, and kind of illustrate a concept with the word itself without actually drawing pictures. So you want to think about that. If you, whatever you're trying to say, you want every line on the page to help you communicate that. And sometimes drawing a wavy, wiggly, squiggly line is the best way to do that. It's also very simple, very quick, and it doesn't require extensive drawing skills or practice. So that is another way that you can start with a basic capital letter and just make it a little bit more interesting, a little bit more fluid and flexible and playful and fun by just using a wiggly, squiggly, wavy line instead of straight lines.